there are bad ideas and there are really bad ideas. And then there is the time where George Lopez literally pimped out her sister to Vic for $2,000. All right, before I get that little smart aleck here in my comment section saying that I already covered this episode, someone just asked if I could cover this one again. And I actually think this is a good one to honestly go over again and really emphasize some of the parts that I didn't get to emphasize on the first one. Now, as you guys know, I had actually covered this one, but YouTube basically made me take all the content down, and this is why you get to see my lovely face now. But it's okay because we can actually bond better. I can talk to you guys a lot better. You guys can see who I am. You guys can know who I am, and you guys know how I am. Now, before anything, let me just say a quick thank you to everyone that continues to tune in because seeing these videos bring you guys entertainment even for 5 minutes of your day is honestly what I do this for. And I just want to say a quick thank you. But let's get on with the video because this is just honestly one of the ones that makes you question your morality when you're watching the show. And George Lopez for sure has none. You see, they played this moment for laughs. George agreeing with Vic for Vic to go hit on Linda and agreed to go out on a date with him, but only because George already gave Vic his blessing via $2,000.
I should go with Daddy to his cardiologist dinner.
No, that is sweet, but no. It would be too hard for me seeing you in a room full of men you should have married.
So basically, the episode starts off with Vic being set up for a very fancy and huge doctor dinner slash events.
And you could have married a cardiologist, huh? Got divorced, taken half his money, hooked up with some young stud. Oh, that's what your wife did.
Now, he has no date due to the divorce and he doesn't want to be anyone's pity. But Vic comes up with the smart idea to ask Linda.
I'm sure I would make quite an impression with your sister on my arm. Do you think Linda would accompany me?
Now, George rightfully disagrees immediately because he realizes Linda barely came into his life, and to put her in a situation like this already is probably not the best way to go on about things.
No way. She's part of the family, Vic. I'm just getting to know her. What is she gonna think? Welcome to the Lopez's. Friday night we play board games. Saturday nights for inbreeding.
But Vic offers to forgive the garage debt. George literally turned Linda's dating life into a transaction. And let's just be honest, this is probably the nice way of saying that George became Linda's PIMP.
George, I'm not talking about dating her. I'm just talking about her companionship for one evening.
Now, Vic is obviously supposed to be like a father figure to George. It's Angie's dad. He is a grown man. He is someone that I honestly consider to be the boys of the show. Vic has a lot more casually wise moments throughout the entire show. He is the one that's basically telling everyone what's what. And I don't think anybody has that type of mentality, which is why it's so weird that he offers to forgive the garage loan debt just at an opportunity to go date Linda.
You're not going on a date with Linda, okay? Forget about it. End of discussion.
Would $1,000 reopen the discussion?
See, all of this disgusting behavior is played off as comedy because Vic is basically saying, I don't need Linda's consent. I just need George's approval first. And that mindset is honestly the biggest red flag. Here's the crazy part though, is that George is somehow worse than Vic because Vic is making the proposition. George is literally weighing out all the options. He's weighing out if it's much more important to just continue making payments on a garage loan, something that is his issue, than to literally sick his father-in-law on his sister.
No, but you're my father-in-law and I respect you, so if you have something to say it.
But I know you owe me $1,000 for the loan to rebuild your garage. Convince Linda to be my escort for the evening, and I will forgive the loan.
Basically, George shows us that he will compromise his own morals and probably everyone's reputation if it will make his life easier. And he doesn't just allow it, he entertains it.
You're offering me $2,000 to set you up with my sister.
I said 1,000.
I'm selling you my sister, dude. Don't lowball me.
See, Linda at this point is treated like a plot device because she is no longer her own person. she is just used as an object that everybody's playing bribes to get, because it turns out that also Ernie wants to buy a date with Linda at a much pricier range. But Ernie actually comes off super creepy because he tells George, "Hey, I'm paying you way more than Vic did." Honestly, a lot of this stuff is supposed to be funny, but you're kind of sitting there and agreeing that George is definitely messed up in the head. Luckily for everyone, Ernie gets turned down, and Ernie ends up ratting out everyone, basically coming clean and saying that he only offered George money because Vic paid him to date Linda. Like, Ernie is salty as heck, bro. At the end of the day, this episode is supposed to be funny, but it honestly reveals something dark and deep about George Lopez.
Why is my father kissing your sister?
Did I tell you, Angie, I paid off the garage?
When push comes to shove, he doesn't always stand on principles. He stands on what he might benefit from more. And in that case, turning his sister into a bargaining chip became probably one of the most uncomfortable moments in the entire series. And dude, that says a lot. Anyways, do you guys remember this episode? Let me know down below. On a scale of 1 to 10, how scummy is George? Scale of 1 to 10, how scummy is Vic? Let me know down below. I will see you guys on the next one. Goodbye.
Okay, you're not taking her anywhere, man. This is over. You're not dating Linda.
Why not?
Because when it ends, it's gonna be ugly. I just got her back in my family, Vic. I'm not gonna let you ruin it.